Hey, welcome back to the Metro Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks for tuning in. It's finally happened. It is our GNK, and I'm playing against Picori, who is my girlfriend, and she is in the next room and now has to put headphones on and not hear us talking, which is going to be pretty loud. So she's definitely listening in. So we're going to say we're gonna throw her off the trail and then just say the names of different ites we're installing. I'm kidding, but this is gonna be really fun. This is Hoshiko. I actually know Maddie's list pretty well. She plays with a pretty limited card pool. She got into the game, mostly has like Nisei stuff and some of the earlier cycles. So I kind of know what she's playing. Good luck, have fun. Oh, thanks. You too. This hand is not great. It's just not very good. So I guess we're gonna mulligan. Hoshiko wants to get them early accesses. I think we want to get some scary ice up immediately. We also do have this beauty of a card, which is always incredibly annoying in the startup. And I think that's okay, as much as we can't afford much else. Okay, and we're off to the races. So Hoshiko is gonna try and win off central pressure, usually with Stargate. So we have to watch out for that. And I think we wanna just kind of get ourselves up. I don't think we can do this turn. I think we might just want to set up next turn to do that, both of these. The problem is, like, if we play this, there's a chance that they can dispel it by just getting an agenda, which wouldn't be amazing, but this is the best turn to play it, is turn one, and I don't know if Maddie has currents right now. So I'm going to just do credit, and hopefully next turn we can do this scarcity into credit into IPO. So we'll see how she starts. Might want to get that central axis just to get Hoshiko's ability. So Hoshiko would flip over, gain 2 credits, lose a credit, and get a card draw, and then gain a link. So let's see how the start goes. We're pretty well suited. I don't think there's a lot of tricks. There's a chance that this Hoshiko deck has a boomerang or two, which is really good with dealing with big ice. But if we can get our ice centrals open, there you go, there's that dirty laundry early. That's the sort of aggression you want. Would be an okay spot. Can't steal Obokata here. Accessing with 3 cards is a bit dodgy, but oh, hits the Philotic. That's the easiest agenda to steal. That's the one that we want to slip in. So that's a very good start. And from here, I think our play is still okay. Now there's not that many agendas left in the deck. I think there's only 5 now and 42. And that's a good hit here. Hoshiko, 14 credits, going to be down to 13 and another card. So I think we can just kind of set up here. Oh no, my math was way off. We can't actually do what we thought we would do. So I think we'll wait one more turn, but I think this is the good turn to do the thing. I feel like we have to res. We'll need the money more than anything. It's unfortunate we're holding back on this. And this is really good for the remote, the border control, so that we can protect. It's just good for remote. It's one of the best remote ice. Hoshiko losing a card and a credit. Still needs to set up. We're looking at heat breakers entirely, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's full heat breakers, maybe a Dori instead. That Puemo coming down. Keiko is the console. It's going to give a lot of free credits over time. It's like a pseudo Rozeki of sorts. And again, this does have a pretty big drawback. And Earthrise Hotel, again, this is exactly why we wanted to get this thing out earlier, but it's still going to be pretty good. And they're going to have to steal an agenda to clear it. I don't think maybe they're on Hacktivist. So we have a pretty good turn here. I don't want to dump our whole hand though, because then HQ would be entirely just this, which would be bad. And then we'd have a lot of digging up to do. We could always run archives here just to get an access to ensure Hoshiko's up, but I don't know if you need the card draw this turn as much when you have 6 cards coming off the Earthrise. But I think right now you want to just make sure your economy is good. We have to play around Stim Hack and make sure you have those breakers. So Hoshiko's flipping over once again. DNA Tracker, pretty strong. That's a hard ice to deal with for a lot of Anarchs. I think there is Hippo and Ice Destruction in this deck. It might actually be on Devil Charm Chisel. They're going to be drawing a lot to be on 7 cards. I honestly think we might just play this and hold on and make it a 1 and 3. Otherwise, we could have jammed the Rashida, but then if they run HQ, it's a 50-50. It's pretty bad. It's not even an Obokata, as much as the money would be nice. So this is a bit slower than we probably need to be, but at least with Scarcity and then drawing off Earthrise, it might be hard for them to dump a lot of these resources that they draw. And I'm assuming there's daily casts, there's liberated accounts, more Earthrises, maybe even pad taps. I don't actually know if that card's in this deck. Maybe No One Home. I think there are tech cards. I think this deck has No One Home and actually probably Film Critic too. So all that stuff is really good to make it a bit more expensive to put on the table. Dirty Laundry, that's a good access. Well, 3 credits and get a Hoshiko's ability again on top of the Earthrise Hotel. That might be a bit too much draw when you have the Scarcity, but it lets you discard some of your breakers. And this can do work. This is a heck of a mean card. Not that many currents on the runner side modernly. I think on Anarch you largely see, oh, Boomerang. there can be some pretty good pressure there. And the Boomerang actually lines up incredibly poorly against, well, not incredibly, but it's not a good hit against Anansi. You have to let one of these subroutines fire. If we res this, not only, mind you, we're Eigenfusion, do we have an outermost resed, but this will fire. And they can only break 2 of these subroutines, which means they'll take 3 damage. Now, we haven't seen an I've had worse just yet, but Boomerang for central axis for a single, that's good that at least we get that out of the way. We'll shuffle the deck and go back in. So let's see if they break. And if they break, I imagine they do, which 2 they'll break. If they don't break the net damage, they're going to take 4. They could even just pay 2 credits to draw a card and it'd be like taking 2 net damage, sort of. Which ones they fire? Break? All right. So they're going to break 2 of them. So we get a fire unbroken, which is the net damage. So they're going to take 4 net damage. Losing a liberated. Once they pass the ice, they'll take 3 more, which is huge because now they can't steal Obokata. There's 3 and 40 still left in the deck. And we'll see what else we hit. Then we're going to make a successful run, which will shuffle the Boomerang back. But this will do some damage. They should be passed. All right, so we hit a Crowder, got the MK Ultra in the bin, so now they can deal with sentries, and a Trickster Taka, which is a good card, but it's a bit hard to steal or to install right now with the scarcity. So there's only 2 agendas in 40 that they can steal at this point. They hit it. It was 2 and 40. Oh my God. Okay. Well, the scarcity's up. Holy shit. This is not good. I've got the top part of Anansi. Ooh. Died to snare there. All right, so this is terrible. This is going really poorly for us. They've cleared our current. They got 2 agendas. Again, they couldn't steal Obokata there. Snare wasn't technically lethal. I think we have to just be aggressive and jam. The border control looking okay with Croders in the bin. I think if they're on Film Critic, assuming they're not on Paperclip as a restricted card, so I think we can set up a wee bit here. Oh boy, this is bad. I think we need to get Rashida to fire, which is just hoping that they don't hit the Anansi, so... Put this on HQ. It's a bit of a weak play. But we need to keep HQ protected. Oh, man. Now they only have to steal 1 agenda. They got like, what, 2 accesses? 5 points? Uh-oh. Maddie drawn up. They get the 2 cards from Earthrise, 1 card and lose a credit from Puemo. Or sorry, not from Puemo, from Hoshiko. And they flipped over to the Link side. The Link doesn't really matter in this deck. I guess we do have 2 IP block, which can be pretty meaningful. I think that they actually are on Amakua. Gotta think it's all good. So from here, we definitely want to fire off a Rashida. Once Rashida gets going, we'll have the ability to build that remote. And now anytime that they run, we can trash a piece of ice to throw them into the Nancy. It's unlikely to be lethal, but it is definitely very annoying. And again, once they go through a Nancy and it fires to damage, there's very few agendas they can steal from R&D. There's only actually 1 more SSL. There's the no one home, so they can prevent the damage. Luckily, a Nancy, the damage, if they let the net damage fire, it's the net damage, and then they take the 3 after it, because this is the first time they take net damage or a tag a turn. But now they're a lot safer to run. They actually, Maddie has a fair bit of tech cards in her deck. There's a cast the no one home, all the stuff you want to dump after the scarcity. Oh my God. 2 credits also, they used a Puemo, so that's a cheap cast. That's really good stuff. They could try and run the border control. We'd end up resing it for 3, which is not too bad. And then they need to know what they want for their remote. But there's always the threat that we could pop this to throw them into the Nancy, which isn't amazing. I think. Yeah. Probably wouldn't end up doing that. We need to keep our money up. We have some expensive ice to res. Just clicking for credits. Hoshiko being flipped. 2 more cards coming in, so we'll try and pop off with our friend Rashida here. All right. Game 3 from SSL, thank you. And we have a celebrity gift. We can show them our whole hand if we really like to. We also can force them to have all 3 breakers and then get the SSL going, which would be pretty good. I feel like there's so few agendas in the deck that we kind of just have to hope that things go well. I don't want a celebrity gift this hand. I don't want to show them that we have an agenda. So we could potentially get through. I think we just want to build the remote. So I think we would do Thimble on the outside, DNA on the inside. This would be weaker to it's good to have the big ice on the outside for our Eigenfusion ability, but it's weak to Hippo. That's the only issue. I guess it's really expensive for them to Hippo a DNA tracker, but we don't want to lose it. We also have to hope, like, I don't know, HQ runs really hard, but I think we can live a turn and then prepare for next turn to jam. So we'll do server one, server one. Actually, this on the inside is better because then they have to get through the DNA tracker before we use our Ag Infusion ability, and then we can throw the Thimble Rig away to hit them into Anansi and R&D, which will be good. So next turn we hopefully can jam this. I think our money is good enough. A lot of times with Ag Infusion, like just the threat of being able to throw someone into an Anansi or a DNA tracker is good enough that you don't end up rezzing the majority of your ice, like most other like Jinteki pseudo Glacier decks. They have 15 credits. Still haven't seen a stim hack. MK Ultra in the bin. We're looking out for the Black Orchestra and them to get a corroder on the table. I don't know if they have actually any legit recursion if they lose all the corroders somehow. Paladin on 1. We have 3 more credits coming from the SSL. We have some digging to do. We gotta dig uphill. I don't know if Maddie's ever played against Ag Infusion. This is actually like a really tricky ability. Not only do we get 17 influence, we get a really strong border control-esque ability. Thinking, all good. You got it. So we'll see. 5 cards. Again, this is such a good time also for the film critic, right? Because as soon as the film critic is down, you don't have to care about the Obokatas. But Obokatas are not that hard to deal with when you steal it. Oh, wow. Just a stim hack? Stim hack single? That's nutty. Okay, stim hack for a single. This will get the MK Ultra down and break all of it. We're not going to lose it to anything. This is still like what? 9 to break? So they're actually going to end up spending real money if I'm not mistaken. So to 3, to 5. Yeah, they have to break to 9. Puema does install this for cheaper. So they're through. This is a single axis. They could steal an Obokata. This could be it. Wonder if Maddie can do 3 for 3 axes. Trash and NGO front. Pretty good hit. I think that Stim Hack is really good on the remote, though you do have to watch out for the Ag Infusion ability. Stim Hack for a single. Now, putting their hand size down too is kind of meaningful. They also trashed a Boomerang. That's a huge hit with the Stim Hack. Huge hit. Because it's hard for them to get that out of the bin. That's really, really, really key. Drawing up. So now they're 4 hand size again. It makes some things harder. And there's the daily cast. From here, we're on 18 credits. We draw into an unknown card. It's a preemptive, which is pretty good. We could put back some of our nice assets to jam in a remote. I think we can just go jam for the SSL. If they get it, they win. But they need to get through the DNA tracker. Not exactly, but it's going to cost them 6 credits. They need to get through the Thimble Rig and the border control. And they have to run the server 3 times because of the Thimble Rig border control combo with Ag Infusion. So I think we're just going to push this out and get ourselves on the table. This is, again, just more credits. It's really awkward too with the Nancy. Like you want to put another ice in front of it, but without any other ice in front of it, like we don't have the threat of throwing them on the remote. And again, if they want to break this with the MK Ultra, they have to break all the subroutines. And if you're not, this math isn't entirely intuitive, but they actually have to boost 3 times and spend 9 credits to break all the subroutines on a Nancy due to the way that breaking and interacting with programs works with icebreakers. Now, is he doing the NGO thing? Who knows? Nisei Mark II. The Nisei Mark II double advance. That's a classic Maddie play. Who I'm pretty sure is playing Paulina on the other side. So we're going to see that install double advance Nisei, no doubt. Otherwise, things are good. We are stabilizing. I do really like the Cyberdex Fire Sweep modernly. A lot of people can build up that Amakua to get through your 5 or 6 strength ice, and you do have that nasty surprise. They're drawing up with the Hoshiko as well, but again, they have to end the turn with 4 cards in hand, and the no one home can be kind of scary. Issue is as soon as we res the Thimble Rig, it gets kind of rough, right? Because then we don't have an ice to de-res that will be lower down on the remote. I guess with Thimble Rig we can construct something. Going for the Nancy, this costs 9. You can't pay 9 for a single. Oh, okay. Oh, I just hit continue. Whoops. Oh, no, you're good. She paid 9. Okay, never mind. That was a snap click pay 9. Single axis again. That's a baddie down. So that was a 10 credit run for single. And like they're at the point where Maddie could just say, fuck it, I'm going to try and win off singles, which is palatable, but now it's further and further behind on being able to jam the remote. It's worth noting from Roberto's version of this deck, we did cut out a DRM. So if you can spend the money to try and lock R&D, which technically is not happening right now because we'll draw an unknown card, we can never draw into an agenda unless we like spend most of our turn drawing. Career Fair, getting down a DreamNet. So this is the first time I run, so it's not going to fire this turn. And we draw into an IP block, which is 2 to break. It's not that bad. I feel like this SSL endorsement is pretty safe. that we could just kind of leave it there. They're going to start the turn with 8, 9, 10, 11, and then lose 1 to 10. I don't know. How many agendas are there left? Not that many. The DreamNet also helps a lot against Film Critic. I mean, sorry, against Obokata because they draw a card. I think we're just going to score this one out. I don't know. This is a bit risky, but I'm not sure. Like, if they pay 9 for another single and fails, their economy is going to be really far behind. The problem is as soon as we ice in front of this, we turn off our Ag Infusion ability in a meaningful way. So ideally, we get another big ice in front of that. If we hit a Chiashi at this point, it's going to be disastrously good for us. Puemo, 1, cast 2 and 2. The Keiko is a bit scary if you play around Marcus Batty into Cortex Lock, which is something this deck can do. Otherwise, Cortex Lock is still pretty difficult for an MK Ultra without any other additional support. It's 6 to break a 2 strength ice. That has some pretty meaningful subroutines. Sure Gamble coming in. Going for that 9 credit single has the... It's 8 credits now, I guess, but that's so much value on a single. So, like, whether we lose or now, it's going to be kind of random. Okay, holding on. DreamNet gets a card in the credit. Gonna have to discard down to 4. Interesting. What could be interesting? It's probably like a Jinja. Do we just Jinja R&D? I feel like, yeah, we would Jinja R&D at this point. Once they get a Stargate down, like those 8 credit runs get so much better. They just haven't drawn into yet. I don't know whether they have 1 or 2. We also could preemptive stuff back just to put fewer agendas into our deck, but I think we're at a point where if we draw agendas, we're pretty good to jam them into the remote, considering they spent a lot of money running R&D as opposed to like setting up pressure for the remote. Don't even have access to the breakers just yet, and 1 boomerang down. And 1 stim hack down, which is pretty meaningful. I think they might be on 2 or 3. There's probably not just 1. All right, throwing out a Puemo and throwing out a Keiko. Might have another one. Interesting draw. What is it? Oh, border control. Seems good. If they put that on R&D, it'll stop things for a while. I think we can draw once here. And then, oh, that's interesting. We want to set up to jam that. I don't think we celeb gift out here. I think we just put something onto R&D. Again, this remote is still really hard to deal with. But I think we just want to put something on R&D. I think the border control is good enough. And then we have border control Thimble Rig combo if that ever does get res, which I imagine it does. And then next turn, we can just do install advance on this. And it's asking a lot for them to get it because they're going to have to probably install a lot of cards and then still run the remote. Casts finishing up, 4 credits a piece. Oh no, sorry, 1 is left. You can always run DreamNet. Like if they ever click for a credit or draw a card, it's strictly wrong. I guess with Hoshiko, it's a bit different, but you can always just run archives. Liberated Counts coming out, that's good money. I don't know if they have enough stuff to spend the money on. They still need to produce 2 breakers and run through this a fair few times. Now, this doesn't end the run, but losing credits can matter if you still struggle to get through. Excuse me, a border control. And there is the Amakua. So this on their archives is exactly what we need at this point. And we can always res it last click or res it and then throw them into it last click by using our ability, which is really strong. And that's a card and a credit. Really good stuff. So this actually might change what we... Jesus Christ. Turns out they stop going for singles. So 1 strength. This could be bad for us. Like DDoS, we lose. I don't think they have DDoS. Oh boy. We need to purge a turtle. I think we'll wait 1 turn. Oh wait, we have this. Yeah, I think we'll draw. Then we'll ice up archives. That's actually a really good draw too. And then put this in the remote. So this is always our safety valve. We're going to hope that they run into the Nancy with the big old Amakua. And then we're going to scare them with the CBS. Hey, I needed that. Security equals good. This is a pretty big hit. They can't always dodge the tag with no one home. I don't know whether we want to spend the money into popping the no one home trace, like to trace into it. I doubt it. The money in this deck is a bit cheap, but a lot of times you don't have to res that much ice, right? Like just the Ag Infusion ability on its own is good enough, quote unquote. But 1 Amakua counter goes pretty far. It gets through border controls, Thimble Rigs, and not a lot of the other ice in our deck actually ends the run. It just has kind of nasty net damage-esque subroutines like Anansi or DNA. Chiashi would be hella sweet, but actually Chiashi might be bad here because if they mill 4 cards off the top of their deck, I guess they can't break it. It'll be easier for them to find their Black Orchestra, but we'll probably trash the Corroder, which is nice. All right, next turn we jam. Do we jam the Oboe or do we jam the Career Freight down to casts? That's fine. They have 1 click left. They're not going to get their Hoshiko access. I guess they could run here. Liberate for 4. Okay, so they got to throw out one thing. Black Orchestra would be the worst case for us. It's just another Keiko. All right. Scarcity at all the wrong times. So we do install advance. They still need to figure out how to get through this a couple times. Unfortunately, the bounce with this isn't that meaningful. They can always just jack out. But they have to get through this and this, and they have to get through this like 3 times, which seems pretty good. Makes it harder for them to steal this. But admittedly, that might be backwards. Like, I always jam them in the wrong remote. Like, now this is safe, so we should jam the other one because they think it's that one. You know, stuff like that. I never do that right. You say Mark III? Haven't seen an NGO so far. Oh, actually one. They did trash one off of R&D. So the NGO count, the agenda count, is technically, no, it's technically not more likely to be an agenda. And hopefully we might have to purge at some point soon. Nah, probably not. We have the CBS, we're good. We want them to get confident. And we're close to be able to close the game down. There's the Black Orchestra. They have the program. They're in theory able to get through this remote. Actually, they can't get through border control. J'ai peur means I'm afraid. I have fear. Some spiders. Black Orchestra, again, really expensive if you want to get through DNA. It's either like 9 credits or 8 and damage. That time thinking was me figuring out 9 minus 1. Liberate for 4. Ooh, so this last click run is really dodgy against Ag Infusion, right? Because we have our ability. It hasn't fired once, so it's very easy for players to forget about this. It always happens at some point where someone makes a run and be like, oh, you're Ag Infusion, of course. So they're going for it. They are going for it. That's a big one. It's good to get that res on the outermost. That's going to be a lot of their money. And here's the option to end the run. We have a couple options to end the run. That's could just let this fire. Oh, I guess there's no cut in there. No, they can't. That's why doing them in the reverse order is better, right? That's all good. You've paid 3. All right, so they're through. That's a lot of money. Thinking. Okay, thinking. So. Go ahead and move me. So we always could like border control into CBS, which continue. Okay. Border control to CBS. I don't think we do that. I think we just move them. Yeah, I think we do just move them. That's unfortunate. Wait, I'm probably missing something. Because if we raise the border control, they can get through it. But we can do border control and CVS, which is probably good enough at this point. Yeah, and then we keep the ice. That's fine. They don't have a paperclip, right? This gives us money back. All right, so they can't break this. And this is going to give us 3 credits when they hit it. So we're back up at 8. We score this out. It'll give us 9 more. It's unfortunate that we popped this and it's not more meaningful. I guess this is pretty meaningful. My virus counter is security equals good. So we're going to fire the subs. It'll end the run and give us 3 back, which is nice. And still we have that. They have to run this 3 times to get through, which is asking for a lot. If we get another border control res here, we can always do like the thimble rig swap, which makes it even better. But I think we're just going to score this out. There's a big chance that we don't actually need the celebrity gift. Actually, scarcity seems a bit less good. So now on game point, we've almost dug up, but they still need 1 single to get through. Obviously, oh fuck, that wasn't the SSL. I did it backwards. That's exactly what you do it the opposite way. Because now this one, they'll access it. They'll go through the DNA tracker and take the damage. Like that's always the misplay. You always jam the money one. Because jamming this one later doesn't do anything. Beans. So they have no Amaku counters. We only have 5 credits. So the celebrity gift is actually pretty necessary here. I'd love to be able to celebrity gift and then jam an NGO friend or something. How's this server looking? Kakago, Anansi. Not amazing. But at least this, if we res Kakago, we can't res the IP block. I imagine they're also on Turning Wheel, if not just Stargate. Probably both. Excuse my voice. Do you res border control? Yeah, we definitely do, because then with Thimble Rig it's resed. So we'll res that. It only costs us some money, and we get our credit back, which is really good. Or 2 credits back, excuse me. Now that's res, so we have that really cool combo that a lot of people don't expect. Now if we have another unresed ice, they have to run the server 4 times in a row, which is incredibly powerful. We have to put another ice on the server, but once they run through this, like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. I just wish we had more money, so I think we're going to have to celebrity gift here and hold on. Draw. Still haven't seen a Corroder just yet. Ice Carver, Amakua. Ice Carver actually is really meaningful in this matchup because then they can Ice Carve through border control. I think that's definitely worth playing. Cortex Lock. It's good. It's not bad. I think we can celebrity gift our whole hand. But actually, do we need to? Yeah, we need to. So we're going to show them everything. They know that we have the winning agenda in hand for either of us. This is hard to get through Kakugo and let's see. We always throw them into a DNA tracker, which is always a nice surprise. And from here, we could install 1 card, or we also click for credit. I think if we install 1 card, we're set up to jam the next turn. So we'll just put something on server 1. It's pretty expensive, and there we can do install advance. And we just need 7 credits with Thimble Rig plus agenda. We have a big audience. Hi, friends. Holy shit. Some people's games were fast. Hey, Clickots, how's it going? All right, draw. We're ready to jam next turn. If I'm not mistaken, that's all we need. I don't know if there's anything that gives us. So 1 click they run it, we res a Thimble Rig, border control. 2nd click they run it, border control. 3rd click they run it, it's Thimble Rig. The problem is like they can go through the DNA tracker. I think we just push. I wish we pushed in the other order. Obviously, it would have been game winning good. And there's a film critic, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. We would have had more money. So can they run through this? No, they can't. I think we can push. I don't think they have a way to run this. So 1st click border control, 2nd border control, 3rd ag infusion, 4th they run. I think it's good enough. We're not threatening a lot with 5 credits, but it's exactly all we need. 3 plus 2. Also in theory, with the Thimble Rig, we could throw them into the border. No, it doesn't work. Acquire Barrier Break if you guys think of the heart of the cards, that'd be cool. All you need to do is play the Ice Carver, unfortunately. I would have done it. All right, 4 clicks. Looks like the winning agenda in the remote. We did show them it with Celebrity Gift. We have our ability. We have a border control. Ooh, do we res IP block? I think they can't run now, so it doesn't matter if they get in here. Rebirth? No. Yeah, I don't think it matters because they can't run it. We have border control, ag infusion. Yeah, I think that's it. DreamNet, card and credit. They have 3 clicks left. This is such a cool combo. The Thimble Rig into border control on another remote. Not very expected. So spicy. So 3 clicks left. They have to win off of R&D. And I don't know that's something that is also off R&D, right? Like there's not many agendas left. There's 2 Obokata, which if they don't have cards in hand, Film Critic won't win the game soon enough unless they run this click. And that's it. It's actually only 2 Obokatas, only 2 and 22, 1 and 11 off of R&D. 3 clicks left. Haven't seen a stim hack just yet. Haven't seen a barrier breaker. In theory, there's no real barriers we're threatening here unless there's like a rogue envelope. But if we res an envelope, we can't score out. There's the Corroder. Okay, that's a good game for sure. But they found the Corroder, probably off of the DreamNet. Puemo playing it for free. Good value, Puemo. They have 1 click left. Running here. All right. Let's see what we can do. Got to pay for this. If you take the damage, it's better if they take the damage now because if we throw them into R&D and they go through, there's no chance of them stealing the Obokata. We're going to do this border control. We'll leave this one here in case they do Hail Mary R&D, but I don't think they can unless they have 4 cards in hand. They could just take the damage. They could. It's cheaper. It's 3 credits cheaper to take the damage. Fire all, my favorite. There should be I've had worse too, right? No one home fires on the first instance if they want to save 1 net damage. It's not really great. I don't think. We haven't seen a single I've had worse, so the chance of them drawing up into this is actually pretty high. All right, they're through. Lost 6. They did head an I've had worse. Also hit another boomerang, and it looks like a stim hack. So I think that's what they're planning to do for the last run. But I don't think it's going to matter at all. Pay 2 to get through the border control, and then the borders will be controlled. And then we can just use our Ag Infusion ability, but we'll set up the flashy Thimble Rig if they go for it. I don't know if they will. It's just in theory better to have this on R&D. Excuse me, we had to click there. They also could give us the 2 credits here. I don't think it matters. I don't know whether their credit matters more than ours. They're breaking all of it. So continue past ice. We'll just go ahead and control the border. We have 1 click left. We still have our Ag Infusion ability, so we can throw them onto archives. And they basically need to run R&D here, and then we border control it. I don't think they have any chance at this point. Yeah, okay. So I'm not actually going to use the Ag Infusion ability because the other ability is way more flashy. Let's see what they take here on the damage. Just want to make sure you can do this. Yeah, of course you can do this. So they could take 6 and 3 net damage. Again, it doesn't matter for Obakata. Fire all. Ooh, my favorite. So that's another Aphid Worse. Hits the Stargate, hits the another Stargate as well. They're going to pass that through. And sure, we could Ag Infusion. But we're going to do some BM. Res Thimble Rig. It's just a Thimble Rig. Oh, they broke with Black Orchestra. In theory, they could have used Amakuo, but it shouldn't matter. Yes. Border control and the run. Exactly 3 credits. And that'll keep them out. We did have another ability. We did have our Ag Infusion, so we could have thrown them off the server one more time. But that'll do it. And barely scraping up. Good. Whoa, what a game. 2 accesses, 5 points. That was terrifying. Man, we really had to dig uphill there. And you can definitely do guarantee a remote. I think there's a chance that Maddie went too hard into the R&D to spend like the 8 or 9 credits for a single. There's just not a lot of agendas in this deck at that point, let alone period. There's only 7 agendas, so you have to get pretty lucky there. Otherwise, they could have set up for the remote and just drawn into the Crowder and got their breakers with Ice Cover and all that. Our other cards gave me the Barrier Breaker, but Thimble Rig. Good game. I'll rehost. Thanks for watching. We're gonna have game 2, which is Paulina versus Max 112. See you there. All right, game 2. We're playing a 112 card Max deck against a Paulina that I think this Paulina runs like a lot of Bio Vaults, Nisei Mark IIs. It's like the good kind of Glacier Rush. Good luck. Have fun. Best of luck. Have fun. We're gonna definitely mulligan here. It looks like Maddie mulligan too, so we're gonna mulligan into some economy. Oh, it's a single Bagat. Can actually be pretty good pressure. We have the Hacktivists if they're on Scarcity, which I don't think they are, but I think the best thing we've drawn into is Liberated. Retrieval run's actually pretty good in this deck, just because if we throw out a Femme Fatale, something like that, it's a good way to deal with bigger ice, let alone we can bring back a Stargate or some of the aggressive stuff we need early. So we gotta make sure, this is kind of the annoying thing, at least we don't have to play around the ability once per turn. The first time each turn, the runner draws a card, the corp gains a credit, and we're gonna be drawing every turn. This is trash. 2 cards, draw a card at the beginning of your turn, which is great. We have 112 cards, hopefully we just find whatever we need, but Pawn is gonna make buckets of money. It's basically 1 free credit a turn, which is definitely really good. All right, so install credit, a really good setup for IPO. They did mulligan as well, and we did get the Career Fair and a Black Orchestra in the bin. Pretty good for us right now. I think we just want a Career Fair at the Liberated. Now we could actually, I've had worse here, but I'm pretty sure Maddie loves a snare in her deck, so I think we're gonna hold on to that as much as possible. And we probably just draw once and just take some money. We now have access to 2 types of breakers, which is really good. And that might be all we need as long as we can keep our economy up, because I don't think there's any rude tricks here. And we want to be able to get at the remote as soon as possible, just to make sure that the Nisei train doesn't roll along. Oh yeah, also 7 credits because of our draw. Again, they're just gonna get a credit every turn. It's a really fortunate matchup. So, what kind of ice are they running? I imagine it's just still the good stuff. Anansi's, DNA trackers, Thimble Rigs, IP blocks, slot machines, I think do make an appearance in this deck. Double icing R&D, I think Maddie does have that Stargate fear, which is something to be totally expected against Anarchs. Lost a Hippo and a Stargate. Now we could retrieval run the Stargate. Losing the Hippo is a bit of a bummer, but you can't ever be too upset about losing things in this deck. We're gonna just draw 2, gain 3, hopefully set up. An early District 99 is so huge in this matchup, and we do have an MK Ultra, or Mimic, excuse me, which only deals with probably no sentries in their deck. I think they're on Cortex Lock and Nancy probably, maybe even Surveyor. So we'll install that for sure. I think we can take the tempo loss, the credit loss for that. And I don't know whether we want to show our Corroder on the table. Ideally, we never install that and just use Paperclip, which is proven to be a lot cheaper. And actually, this Hacktivist can do a fair bit of work. Installing the Mimic is only really good for Cortex Lock just to get like fewer cards in hand, or if we hit an Ice Carver or something. So I think we're just gonna click for credits. I'm like such a big fan of District 99. The first time that we trash a card, a hardware or program, we get to put a counter on here, which is huge. Why does this have a token on it? Adds 1 power counter? Why? I shouldn't. Counter is 0? It shouldn't have a counter on it if I'm not mistaken. Liberated trash, not a hardware program, so that's weird. But this is such a good recursion card for a deck that can't really guarantee what they draw. The only caveat here is that we have to draw an enter card, but this gets you into a lot of really interesting situations where you can pull back Hippo that hasn't been used. You can pull back Liberated for money. You can pull back Stargate. You can pull back Wanton Destruction. There's a lot you can do. I think at this point we might want to pressure Centrals. With 9 credits, Anansi is the worst res for us, but then it just probably hits our I've had worse and draws us some, which is not too bad. And I think we want to get down Hedge Fund. That's good. We want to see what's in HQ because they mulliganed and they haven't been pressuring for at all for the remote. So it's going to be a couple turns where they just have stuff in hand. So we want to keep that pressure up. If they spend money too, like it's fine. It means that they need money to jam and score agendas. So like just running HQ is probably fine. I think we'll definitely put down the Begot first. Just because Begot's good and it makes this HQ run a lot better. Oh, Paperclip's great. We lost our Fenris, which is unfortunate, and a second Hippo. Fenris we can't recur in any way in this deck because it's not an enter card. We also got a counter from District 99 for trashing a Hippo. So here we go. Begot, run HQ. Begot, successful run, first successful run on HQ. They trash a card from the top of R&D, which is an absurd amount of pressure. It's hard to play around, besides icing up HQ, obviously. So let's see if they res here with 16. Oh, just a Thimble Rig. Will we get through this? We have Amaku eventually, but I think we will pay money just to get through here. Fortunately, our money is drying up. If we hit a snare, it's probably okay for us. If it hits I've had worse. But this is going to get a Begot and an Axis, which is definitely worth the money up front. It's now Obokata. Oh, that's a good steal. Especially because it hits exactly into hit our Paperclip in the bin, hits the I've had worse. And we have a Maw, which can be really strong. We also draw an Earthrise, which is good, but it's not credits. A Scrubber couldn't be good in this matchup. Not amazing. There are trashables, and we just kind of want money. I think we actually might just click for a credit here. We can eventually use our District 99 for like a day job or a Liberated, which is good enough, but we want to look for a Caddy or an Armitage or Casts or something that gives us some good money. I think we'll just click for 1 here. We have access to 2 kinds of breakers. Not the worst spot. We have 25 minutes left in the round as well. It's also worth knowing there's a card in Archives. Once we get our Amakua down, this Thimble Rig is a lot worse, and we can start getting in and maybe getting Maw fires, but we're at no point able to install Maw to go down to 2 credits. I think this deck runs multiple consoles. We have Maw and Patrick, and maybe even... if I'm not mistaken, turntable. And it's kind of dependent on what you draw, obviously, but also a bit on the matchup. There's a chance that installing Liberated is correct here. If we cast it, Career Ferret, it'd be even better, obviously. But if the more card draw we have, the better chance we have to draw money, which is going to be really important. And we just want to make sure we never go fewer than like 6 credits. Because there's not a lot of economy we can play outside of that Sure Gamble Liberated range. But also we want to be able to... want to make sure we're able to contest the remote. Drawing up, now that's the remote that they're building up. We do have access sometimes to DDoS. We can also run HQ for 3, which could be okay. Nothing really good here. I think we do run HQ for 3. Nah. We'll draw for money. That's really strong if they jam the remote. We can draw again. A lot of these cards don't matter. Stargate's strong, but again with 2 ice. Do we run HQ for an Axis? The Axis is probably very good, considering it's turn, 4? And they haven't jammed anything? We'll go HQ. It's a bit expensive. But we also get the Begot Fire, which can be pretty meaningful. All right, we're in. We get an Axis. It's a future perfect. Okay, so that makes sense. That's fine in the remote. If they score it, it doesn't really do too much for them. I think we just want them to spend money. I think they'll spend 1. Yeah, nice. Damn, I'm good. Spending 0 a lot of time is right because it makes them spend money, but they have 19 credits. So now we're on game point. So if we can just play control and play the remote, we should be in a good spot. And as long as we draw like a Caddy or some economy, playing control is possible. Also with 2 agendas out, Hacktivists will hit a lot of their cards like Rashida and NGO and BioVault. We can also check Archives for 1, but I think we're in a point where we just want to set up. So we'll throw that out. Stargate not looking amazing with 19 and 2 ice. If we trash it, it's not trash, it's discard. We definitely don't want the Scrubbers. Retrieval Run will be really good once we hit a Fem. Even an Amakua would be fantastic with a thimble rig. I don't think we're ever going to play this, and that's probably good enough. Hopefully we draw into money at this point. And again, even if District 99 gets another trash next turn, we'll be able to pull Liberated, which is a bit bad on tempo, but good enough. And if we have a God, even if we can pull Hippo, we can just break this and then hopefully put enough pressure on HQ. There's 2 cards in archives. It could be worth checking. But I think their deck runs like a lot of agendas. I think it's like on 3/4/2s. Sorry, it's on 3 Niseis, a Philotic, and then there's probably, what's that? That's 2, 4, 6, 8. So then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 off Obakatas, and then 1 Feature Perfect. I'm assuming that's what the deck list is. Maybe there's an SSL in there at some point, but I think you'd run all 3 Obakatas if you can. So Thimble Rig on the remote, that means that they're not really planning to jam anytime soon, because we can get through that. We also do have the Pocket DDoS and the Paperclip. So again, I think we can just click for money, maybe run archives if we need to. I think Retrieval Run for a Fem or Amaku would be amazing. Even a Yute, I guess, would deal with Thimble Rig relatively well. Or is it Yute or Adore? I think it's Yute. Draw, so 2 cards in. Not icing up archives, that could be a thing, but that also kind of shows that there might be something in there. I think there's a preemptive in this deck. There usually is. In these sorts of decks, especially things that run like Biovault and things that are 1-ofs. Border control. Ooh, double Ace HQ. Okay, so that's the pressure. We have a Liberated, which is perfect. This is why you don't want to go to too few credits. So I think we can spend our whole turn here just clicking up and making some money. We'll do a breaker count. Paperclip, Black Orchestra. No way to deal with sentries just yet, but we are at the point where we can install the Earthrise and get 3 cards a turn, which is going to get you something soon enough. Unfortunately, no D99 hits. It usually hits pretty often. Like our deck is majority programs. Maybe not. Maybe it's like half, less than. There are a lot of resources and events you want to play in an Anarch deck. We could just check archives. I just don't want to do it for no reason. Like they do install events. We definitely call it with like DDoS run. But I don't want to check in unless we like Dirty Laundry or Amaku or something more on value. If we do Retrieval Run, we won't even flip the cards over. I don't think, because we want access. We want to make sure that we can Retrieval Run something good. Also, if we pressure centrals like R&D and HQ and they go too poor, we can always just like drop the Stargate and hope to close the game. I just think like we're in such a good spot that if we play control on the remote that we don't have to aggro in. Run 6 points. We got the Future Perfect from hand. That's a hard one. That's a safe one usually. We have to watch out for IP block. If we do go the Amakua route, I don't think we have any tag prevention in this deck. I don't think there's like a Citadel or anything like that. 2 clicks left. Install advance is a possibility, but DDoS run, we'll get through that. So it's also worth, you always have to keep track of cards. Ooh, if they advance that, oh my God. They don't. Huh, so we can wait a turn. I think we do play the Hacktivist. We did lose a Day Job and a Deuces. So I think this is a turn that we just take money, set up. We didn't trash any programs or hardware. I think we will just play. So if they res the Rashida, they trash something. If it's a Rashida, it could also be a Biovault. I don't know if they're on La Costa. They could be on La Costa. Just take the money, 11, and we'd be drawing a lot. So the chance of us drawing into an event that we can play for money is pretty high. And if they res an upgrade or acid, they have to mill a card from hand. So there's no card that can really score in server 1, I don't think, unless they have the Philotic in there. It could be a Philotic and we take 3 damage. As a Rashida, they res that trash card, feels good. Draw 3, gain 3, and mandatory. So Archives now has 3 unknowns in it. Can be good, but I think they're gonna ice up Archives soon. We just gotta get money up, like just a caddy. If we had a caddy every turn, click 3, you go, click turn 3, you go. Like eventually, barring a border control, we'd be able for the remote. We just need to find that MK Ultra as well. Only 80 cards left, we'll figure it out. Order was weird on that, sorry. No, it's all good. So Thimble Rig on the remote, not sounding amazing. Or so the DDoS pressure is still up there. Double Retrieval Run, just burning a hole in our hand. I wish we had something really good here. We have 3 Fems, we have 3 Amakuas in the deck. No need really to pull the Corroder. The Paperclip will almost always be better. At this point, we might consider running Archives. All right, another ice. This could be install advance. This could be the turn they want. I don't think we have any other real big tricks. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we really need to get in there if we can. Take clicks, max Earth. I guess the order does in theory matter. We lost a knife and an imp. Do we do just DDoS run? We don't have a lot of money. We could do it. DDoS run probably gets through most things. I'm down to take the risk. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have just enough money for Kakugo into Thimblerig. We could have considered clicking for credits there. But it's a border control. It's 3. We can give them a credit, come back. It's a border control. So we're not going to break all of it, thinking. So if they border control here, which they probably do, we have to spend 4, and then next turn spend 3. Oh, fuck. If only we spooned. No, the spoon wouldn't go through. But then I guess we save money. I think we're short. I think we are short just a bit here. We can always run HQ. So break 1. So they can gain 1. We have to pay 3 to go through the Thimblerig. And then we're just short some credits. Oh, fuck. Oh, I did that the wrong window. Whoops. Whatever. Still counts. Damn it. It had to be border control. Can we run back? No. No, we have to click for credits now. I broke it earlier. At least this pops the border control. Actually, yeah, it definitely pops the border control. But the Nisei token now is going to get really scary. There's no way to get money suddenly, right? No, I think we just have to click for credits. We could pressure centrals. No, but we're going to need money. Okay. So we run again. We're short. We need 3 credits here. So we can't do it. Oh, man. A couple clicks short. Just the economy isn't there. I think we click 3. The Wanton doesn't look amazing. We also could run archives, which is like, you know, okay, I guess. We're so far behind. With 3 agendas out of the game, how chance of there being an archives is pretty low. I guess they score next turn anyways. We'll just click for credits. The retrieval run and spoon are a bit dodgy too with the Nisei token. I think we need the casts. The Wanton's a bit worse. I think you Nisei a Wanton. Feels bad. Hopefully we get dirty laundry here. We can dirty laundry archives next turn. He says hoping the 1 in 25 pull. That's not that unlikely, 1 in 25 when we draw. Could be worse. Let's see what this is. It's an NGO front. That's fine for us, right? Because the hacktivist fires. They don't need money. They also have a mandatory, so they're going to have to discard another card if they want to score their Nisei. Oh, 1 border control down. We just have to camp the remote. I wonder if they can dig up the same way they dug up against us. Oh, wow. Okay. Fantastic. All right, so we can bring back something now with District 99, which is good. If we get the Mystic Miami down, it's like clicking for a credit for the sure gamble. I think we just want to do credit, install Mystic, install daily casts. Let's see what we can pull from this. If we can pull something from our heap. I know this is hard to see mid-game, but Mining Accident isn't amazing. We could pull Liberated. Day Job is probably one of the better ones. Actually, DDoS is probably one of the better pulls we can pull from our deck. But we don't have to use this. It's not like the counters go away. So I think we're just going to do credit, Mystic casts. And then next turn we'll be on 3 credits. That's a bit awkward, actually. If we don't do credit, we'll take a slow turn. This can spiral really poorly for us. Maybe we check archives. 3 cards is taunting me, but I really want to wait for that daily cast. Or sorry, from that dirty laundry. Hopefully we draw that laundry. Advance. Oh, thank God. Not a Nisei. It's an Obokata. Oh, that's so much better for us. So we don't have to deal with that. It's not a good tempo score. It's not like that SSL. But again, I don't think they have that. So their deck is Nisei's, Philotic, and 1 more Obokata. So 5 agendas in 32 cards. It's pretty quick math. I know you're impressed. All right. The value, it doesn't matter too much, the order. We got our MK Ultra. We also can throw out our Femme Fatale, which is huge because then we have the access to Retrieval Run. What else did we lose? We haven't lost any laundries yet. I feel like we just want to run archives, see how things go. And we're going to throw out some stuff. I don't actually think we need the frantic coding. Okay, what do we hit? Snare. Snare IPO, it looks like. I found I found your snares. Anyway, we don't have to play around that too much. And then I guess we can gamble here. All right, so we have that sweet fem token we can pull out. Some snares. And then with the fem, we actually could consider Stargate on R&D. It's going to be a bit difficult with MU though. We're going to need a console or something. And again, District 99 gives us a lot of options. But I feel like we can do the remote. We have 11 minutes left in the round, so we are still winning on time. Maddie will have to score 2 agendas in 10 minutes, which as long as we keep our money up can be difficult. I don't know. One border control out's the biggest deal. And it's unlikely to be another Obakata. It's more likely to be anything else. Thimble Rig now in R&D. Ooh, that opens things up pretty well for Stargate. I wonder why they're doing that. If we install the Stargate, we're going to have, what, 7 credits? It's enough to get... This is still so expensive. We need to hit that Amakua. Oh, we have an Amakua. Maybe we retrieval run for Amakua. I think we do, actually. I think a retrieval run from Amakua, and then we just run Archives 3 times, and that's our turn. We had the passive card draw. We have the passive casts. That's probably good enough. Uh-oh. Okay, install Advance. Could be an Issei. Could just be an NGO front. We haven't seen one in a while, but NGO front here, at least for them, isn't amazing. So, we don't know any of this ice. Any of it. Oh my god. They could dig up out of this. For sure they could. What is Maddie doing? I think closing the game on Stargate is like, it's okay. Retrieval run from Amakua just seems really good. We pay 2 credits for Amakua. That's a retrieval run. Let's just install a card from our heap. We have another one for Fem if we need to. So we'll do the retrieval run. We'll get the Amakua. Now we can run Archives. Once we get up to 5 strength, I don't think there's anything we have to respect. I guess we'll eat a DNA tracker. It'll be fine. Assuming this might be a Biovault, and that's a problem. Biovault is really, really strong. It's a Nisei. My god. Uh-oh. There you go. Install Advance Nisei. Our Amakua now up at strength, though. We probably can contest the remote if this goes unchallenged. Stargate will be a bit tricky. We can always trash the Black Orchestra until we need it. So far, obviously, the only ice we've seen is Thimble Rig. And I feel like they don't have the econ to res too much of their ice, especially if they res 1 for 8. Like, that's half their money. But Nisei token is pretty strong ability. Another ice on the remote. Okay, so there's a Surveyor. Ooh, Street Peddler can be fun. Yeah, I'll bite. Oh, almost bite. Earthrise is good. Gamble, we can't play. Black Orchestra is fine. So I think we'll just run Archives twice. If we run HQ last click, it's kind of weak to what's it called? To the tagging one, but we can always wipe our Amakua if we're really scared to IP block. We'll run HQ. It seems a bit better here. We're weak to DNA tracker, but we can get through Anansi. We can get through most everything. Even Slot Machine is not that bad. Fuck me, really? Okay, we'll take a tag, whatever. Okay. So we have to break 2 subs here if we want to get an access, which I think we do. That was the worst case scenario. Also, yeah, there's another ice on this remote. You can kind of see it behind our photo or our video. All right, this is an Axis and a trash. It's a Nisei. Oh my god. Only one in there? Ah! Oh, only one in there, and they just had to jam down the remote next turn, which I don't know if they have the money to res everything. And a snare. Ooh, and a snare. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Would you mind resing all? That's the command. All right, so yeah, we ran out of money. Like, we weren't drawing money well enough anywhere near like what obviously we'd wanted to be able to contest the remote, but double border control. Oh my god, they drew 3 of them. Let alone Kakugo into IP block. So with Paperclip on its own, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you have to run this like 3 times. So we definitely wouldn't have played around triple border control or double border control. So if they just jammed next turn, I think we definitely would have lost, which is pretty good time. Hey, thanks for the game, eh? That is round 2. We are currently 3-1. Almost everybody besides I think one table last round split. So the standings are gonna be pretty cutthroat. But we have one more game. So thanks for watching. We'll be back in probably a couple days.